Who knows?
All
Oh,
right, we're live.
and someone else just went live. All
Well,
right.
all right. Good evening, everybody.
You realize there's no,
So,
it hasn't gone live yet on Facebook yet.
no, hmm,
There it
I
is.
thought so.
Now we're
And I'm
now
in
we're
the
cooking.
room.
Now we're
Okay.
cooking. Come on. Oh, I better turn off my sound before the video comes up because it would be super
Yeah.
loud. All right, what is the deal here? It hasn't gone live yet.
Miss Greta, how are you?
Before the video comes up because it would be super loud. What is the deal here? My computer is
How are
winning.
you? Word.
There it is.
If you haven't taken the time yet, if you would, please go to StreamYard and uh, click on the link that's in the preview for this video so that we can see all your bright, shiny, wonderful faces.
There we
Look
go.
at that guy.
PJ.
I had a good talk with PJ this afternoon at lunch.
Oh,
So
camera down. Let's try that again.
look at that guy.
PJ.
I had a good talk with PJ this afternoon. I hear something in the background.
Camera down. Let's try that
Is
again.
that me or is that you?
It's got to be you because everything on mine is
Yeah,
on mine's
I had a
muted.
little
So
volume. That's me. My bad. My bad.
freaking rookie. There is a duck.
Where is a duck? There's a duck.
There's always a duck, and my the blue one is upstairs.
All right. So we've got Joe in the background waiting to come on. So we'll have that little ticker going on. That's our guest for tonight. Yes, it was a good one, PJ. Um, for those of you who don't know, we also have the date and the location secured for our next show, October 23rd at the bank. So, we'll be putting out a post here for tables pretty soon. Be on the lookout for that. I just got to talk with Miss Deb to make get that event up there. Yes, there is a glow in the dark one.
Yes, I have the glow in the dark one. I have all of them. I have the green one, the yellow one, the glow in the dark one, the gold one, and I think that's all they've done so far is just the four. So
Nice. Okay, so what else we got? Let's talk a little recap of Mason City because we didn't really do that yet.
no, we didn't. Mason. Well, how could we? It was last weekend. This is the first
Sure.
show that we've done since
Mm,
Mason City.
mm,
Me personally, I would have to say that Mason City was probably the most fun I've had at a toy show in probably a long time. Just the hanging out, the just the talking with people. It has that family atmosphere where it's not all about business, but yet you can still have, if you're selling stuff, you can still have a lot of great sales, but it's not so hardcore about sales. It's more about having fun and the amount of kids running around and the racetrack, and it was a great day. I found some amazing deals. I brought home some amazing stuff from my private collection. Yeah, it was a great time, and I'm glad that we finally got the chance to get up there. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's definitely worth the trip if you want to check out a whole another area for Hot Wheel collectors because there's stuff up there I hadn't seen before or in a long time. So it was definitely a
yeah,
great show.
I have yet to post the pictures that I took just walking around. It was like living in a museum. It was just
Yes.
amazing to see all the pictures and all the cars and memorabilia. I mean, there was a stack that probably went from good 6 to 10 feet tall of just nothing but black blisters from the original mystery model cars, just stacked on top of each other. That was impressive in and of
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. It was the errors, man. I saw just some super cool errors up there. So yeah, it was definitely. I would love to go back and just hang out and have a fun time and see more of the space that everything is in because there's so much cool stuff up there.
you want to talk about a backdrop for a show, that was definitely it. And
Yeah.
let's not forget the awesome food that was there.
Oh yeah, the firecrackers.
Yes,
Those are so good.
Miss Barb and her group of people did such an amazing job with the food that I was in food comatose for most of the afternoon.
Hmm.
Although it was hard not to stay, it was hard to stay in that food comatose because all the running around of the kids. And that was something really cool because the kids ended up coming later in the show and they ended up, um, how to say this, they came
Revitalized
in
the show.
force. Yeah, yeah, really did. And they were very enthusiastic about their racing.
Yes, they
Very.
were definitely enthused. So small, but yet so loud.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, obviously, I talked about our show in that's coming up the 23rd. We have a show, was it the first or the second down in Lincoln, correct?
That would be the second, October 2nd in
Second.
Lincoln.
September 17th will be in
Des
Des
Moines.
Moines. I won't. I
Yeah, I'm
will.
getting hung out and high and dry here. So
See, I'm doing this as we play the Evil Empire. I mean, Oklahoma. Yeah, I did that.
whatever. Yeah, you're just bailing. That's okay.
I was waiting for that.
Oh, don't worry. Here. Well, here. I'll just set this up here. Oh, wait, can you see
I
that?
can't see it. No.
Oh, hold on here. Maybe we'll use this. We'll use this white lightning as a stand. See if that works better.
Okay. Hey, none of that. We all know that you like Iowa,
Oh yeah,
unfortunately.
perfect. Using the white lightning as a stand is so much more fun.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, I could be really. Where is it? Let
Yeah,
me just.
show me the carded one
I could
too.
just do here. I'll just put this one here. I'll just put this one here. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get here. Let me get
You
this
need a
other white.
platform for that one
Here,
too.
I'll just put it on the other white lightning. There we go.
Just wrong.
I'm using white lightnings as car stands. That's hilarious. Oh, super
All
fun.
right, so and like I said, we've got those three shows coming up. I think Troy said he was going to wait till the spring to do another show up in Sioux Falls. So
This is
yeah,
true.
PJ, it's definitely one I don't have. And other than him dangling that 510 Super in front of me for a year and a half, this is the other car that he's tortured me with
I'm not torturing you with it.
too much.
This is what's fun though. I can do this.
All right, so let's get into our guest for tonight. We met Joseph up at the Sioux City show here this summer. He was very enthusiastic about and passionate about his collecting. Um, I think he's on a very good path to becoming a very well known or responsible. I should say responsible,
None of us are
energetic collector.
responsible. There you go.
Yeah,
And say none of us are responsible. So
yeah. There we go. But he sat through almost every lecture that was available, which really impressed me because it showed his um, desire and ability to want to learn and grow his knowledge in the hobby. So we're going to bring him on tonight. He's in live from his room. And he's going to show us a few things as well. And he is going to rip a card tonight. So he,
woohoo.
he he's one of those guys that I got to have it carded and I got to have it loose type. So, all
Yeah.
right, Mr. Joseph, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Hey, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself before we get into the questions?
So, my name is Joseph. I'm 22 years old, from Volga, South Dakota, and I collect diecast anything and everything. As long as it has wheels, I collect it.
Nice. Okay, so we're gonna get into this first question right away, and we'll also take questions from everybody else out tonight too. Now, you had volunteered to come be on the show. You were very interested about it, so let's get into it. All right, how long have you been collecting?
So I've been getting Hot Wheels cars my whole life, basically 22 years. But I only started getting serious in 2015, 2016. That's when I started, nailing down what I actually collect and starting to buy what I like instead of just buying something that's on the shelf.
Gotcha. That's very important because I don't think a lot of people realize and get to that point until you're like our age, and then we have a room full of stuff and we don't know what to do. So that's
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I realized that my collection was already getting very, very large, and I need to have already a narrow focus before I get a collection that's 60, 70, 80,000 pieces, and I don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, I have 3 and I don't know how to handle it. But
I'm just going to plead. I'm just pleading the fifth on this entire conversation.
Okay, so that second question I had for you tonight was, what were your goals for collecting, or what were you trying to build in your collection, or how were you trying to build it?
So I was trying to get cars that I could not even afford, or cars that were no longer available to me in the United States, and also just interesting models in general. So vehicles that are not American made, vehicles that have foreign liveries on them. Having those unique decos really kind of appeal to me. Yeah, something like that is what really kind of drives me, is getting unique models that Americans probably would not see on the roads.
Good. I like that. Okay, so we've got our first question from tonight. This is from PJ. He is one of our members, and he is wanting to know, what's your favorite casting?
So my favorite casting is, I'll just show it to you. This is the Toyota Hiace. This is my favorite casting. Most American manufacturers do not make it. So when I get it, I have to get it through an international seller and through an international company because it's not available here in the United States. But that's my favorite casting.
And who makes that one?
So these ones here are from a company called Model One. They're a Chinese brand, exclusively sold in China. But like this, Lala Move.
Yeah.
There you go.
These are exclusively made in China. I bought them from a guy in Canada who imports them in from China and then sells them to North American collectors.
Very cool. I've never heard of those before.
Yeah, okay, so I found a guy in Canada who gets a lot of unique brands that you normally wouldn't find here in the States, and that's kind of where I go to, is those unique shops.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
How did you find out about this Canadian distributor and that the diecast company you just mentioned?
So actually through YouTube. There's this guy on YouTube called Stinger Diecast. He's out of Phoenix, and he gets a lot of the premium, like 64 BM Creations, Model 61, those Chinese, Japanese brands. And he mentioned this company in Canada, and then I went to them and I loved them. I also have a guy in Phoenix who I also buy cars from. He gets Tomoka directly from Japan, and I buy the cars off of him.
Very cool.
Okay. Now, when you're looking at all these other brands, say, how does the quality in terms of paint, choices of cars, and the quality overall, how do they compare to, say, like a Matchbox or an M2 or Hot Wheels or Auto World Greenlight, the U.S. companies?
I honestly have no idea. I don't really open them, but they seem pretty good quality. But as long as you keep them, they're really good display items. I wouldn't say they're good to play with. I think they're more meant to be displayed and showcased rather than play with. They're more expensive than Greenlight. They're about $15 to $20 on average. But from these companies, I basically only buy either international models or Chinese models.
Okay.
I don't buy American models from them. I'd rather give an American company with American models, give them the business rather than an international company. So like there's a Haifeng car that's made internationally. It's a Chinese car. I'll buy that through an Asian company. But if it's a Dodge Challenger, I'll try to buy it through Auto World or Greenlight, give them the business rather than a Chinese brand who I don't know if they have the license or not to produce it.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. So Hot Wheels, Matchbox, M2, or another diecast company, which one's your favorite?
It's probably Greenlight.
Okay.
It's probably Greenlight and Auto World tied.
Why?
Well, with Greenlight, the variety, there's so many different types of vehicles produced that I can just kind of jump between different series. And if I see something, I can go grab it. They produce a lot of police cars. I really like their police cars. For example, this here is a 124 scale Greenlight. This is Hot Pursuit, and this is with their larger scale. And I collect those as well. I collect any scale, to be honest with you. I kind of have a range to 1/12 to 1/72 scale. Anything smaller than 1/72 scale, I really don't buy it. And larger than 1/12, I don't really buy it. So if it's in between that range, and if I like it, I'll pick it up.
Now, yeah, man, that's a wide scale range.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was. Well, then again, I mean, I'm looking around here, and I've got everything from 1/18 to 1/64. Well, what would micro machines be?
1/100th.
Yeah, I have the really small stuff, and then I have everything up to 1/18. So I agree. I have a lot of stuff too. So. Yeah.
So tell me, what's something that you've learned through the hobby so far, whether it's about cars, people, just anything random or general? You know, it's a pretty wide open question there for you.
Patience and family. Patience in the fact that wait for vehicles to come to you rather than you go to them. I've waited, the longest I've waited is 9 years to purchase a vehicle before I bought it. And family is because I made so many unique contacts from this hobby that I wouldn't have made if I was out of the hobby. And I'm able to go to shows that are unique, and I can get customs there. I can meet people there, and I can get knowledge rather than just, reading something on the internet, rather than, watching something on YouTube.
Okay. James has a question up here. He's wanting to know, how do you swing all your deals? Because it sounds like you've got some very exotic tastes, and I know bringing some of that stuff in from overseas can be expensive on the shipping. So, what's your thought process when you go to try to buy a car?
So a lot of this is savings. And then I buy stuff every, maybe 8 to 12 months. I don't buy a lot at once. I mean, I just bought a lot now that I've been sitting on for 9 months. So I will save up, and then I'll buy it when I have the savings. And then I'll buy it. But I'm waiting 9, 12, 13 months before I'll purchase something. And then I usually try to get it in a bulk lot.
Okay. So you budget and plan out what you're trying to do before you do it. And then you just try to put it together in the best possible way for you, right?
Yeah, and I sit on it for sometimes up to 13 months before I'll buy stuff. And I have stuff on watch list that's been on watch list now for 4 years that I'm just waiting for the price to come down before I buy it, because I don't want to. I don't have space. I have 30,000 pieces in my collection. I don't have space for everything. So I don't have space for everything.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm really impressed with your ability to be patient and you've really thought about how you're trying to build your collection. I am really impressed with all of that, because me, I'm just like, ooh, shiny, and then I buy it. Yeah, we're both guilty of that.
Yeah,
So that's really
I
awesome.
try to be patient because a lot of this stuff I can get it down the road, or
Yeah.
I can get it down, a few months down the line, and I can try to see if the price will come down. And that's I try to wait it out, and then when I save enough, then I will just purchase it, and then I won't purchase for another 6 to 12 months.
Gotcha.
Ooh, that's some
So
dedication there.
yeah, I wouldn't have that patience. I'd be
No,
like,
no, neither. I know I don't. So
I, I want my Japan 510 sedan, uh, and I didn't wait for that, and you know, I don't know if I could have that patience. But that's awesome. So it reminds me of our next question. Are you a strictly carded guy, or are you a loose guy, or are you like a combination of both?
I'm both.
Okay.
I get two of everything. I get one loose, one carded of 1/64 scale, and then everything from 1/43 to 1/18 I only get one of because it never gets opened.
Gotcha.
So, but 1/64
Probably.
scale, I'll get two to open one and keep one. For example, this probably will never be opened. This will just stay in the package. Um,
Yeah.
another police car.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
the Plymouth Fury from the Delaware State Patrol.
and
Nice.
then like this will never be opened too. It's not left the packaging in almost 6 years.
Oh wow. Is that looks like it's a motorhome, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the Heimermobil. It's from Germany.
Oh, okay.
This came directly from Germany.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Now, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. You had said something about what you've learned so far is patience and family. Now, in your own words, what, excuse me, how do you define your diecast family?
It's people I met through different groups. People I met at shows. I just started really going to shows just this summer, and I'm kind of far from shows because I don't really drive. So, for example, the nearest show to me is probably your show in Nebraska, and that's 3.5 hours. And besides that, it's 4.5 hours to Des Moines, 5.5 hours to Mason City. It's almost 6.5 hours, 7 hours to Lincoln. So up here, there's really hardly any shows other than the one in Sioux Falls that's held sporadically. But other than that, the shows are not near here. I mean, the one in Minnesota is 5 hours, five
Wow.
hours driving, and so I don't really go to shows because it's just not feasible. It's too long of a
Mm-hmm.
drive.
I hear you.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, with gas prices and everything else going on, that's perfectly understandable. Um, I know they're trying to get another show together for Sioux Falls in the
Mm-hmm.
spring, outside of Crooks, I think, is where they're going to try to do it at
Yeah.
again at that community center. But I like that answer as well. It's the people is what drives the hobby,
Yeah.
not the cars. Okay,
Be honest with you, I
so
could care less about the cars rather than meeting the people. The
there
people
Yeah.
you
will
go.
make the hobby. The cars don't make the hobby. The cars are just a piece of metal. They're inanimate objects, but the people you meet will be there for your whole life. And I'd rather keep that than keep a car at this point.
Nice, nice. Okay, what would you like to see in the future at shows? What would be something that you would like to witness yourself, or kind of experience?
Um, be honest with you, I like to see more selection. Kind of more brands. I know Sioux City had like DCP and they had Hot Wheels and Matchbox, Johnny Lightning. I like to see more of those. I don't want to say out there brands, but brands that people might not think about when they think of diecast. I love DCP. I don't have that many because they're big and they're expensive, but I like that, seeing those variety rather than just Hot Wheels.
Okay. Nice. Is there any person you would like to meet? Did you because you got to meet Brian Benedict and Brendan Vituski, and then Lee Allen and Angela as well. Is there anybody else you'd like to meet that you haven't so far? I mean, because you've been pretty spoiled, so to speak, to meet those guys right away.
Probably the one I want to meet the most is Larry Wood, the famous Hot Wheels designer. I don't really. My goal is next year to go to the Matchbox Gathering in Albuquerque. I really kind of want to see that. I know the Lamley group post about it a lot, and it's been like the last few years. I'm like, oh, that looks a lot of fun, and I don't really collect Matchbox, but I like some of the castings and just the ability to see those. I also see some of the new releases for 2024 or 2025. It'll be really awesome to see. Seeing it on a TV screen, watching on a YouTube is nice, but it's not like seeing it in person.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely agree with that. And I think if you were to reach out to Miss Barb Robles, I think she could give you some valuable insight as to what the Matchbox Gathering of Friends is about, because she actually went this year and she had an amazing time. So
yeah, I saw the Corvettes. I saw the Corvettes, and I saw their price, and I was like, ooh, okay, $400 for a Corvette. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and I appreciate that, but that's something that if you really want it, it'll find a way. It's in there into your house. I mean, I remember those days too when there were cars that I thought, oh no, I'd never get, and then you meet people and then they dingle them in front of you for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on, you gotta have some fun. But no, he's not wrong though. Ken has found me cars that I have been looking for, that I've wanted to buy for years. So, and I've gotten him a couple of things, and it's kind of fun to have people so to speak in your corner, versus having to do it by yourself in this hobby. So it's a lot of fun to have a lot of people to hang out with and talk to and reach out to and things along those lines. So yeah, that's cool.
This is a piece that I wasn't looking for, but just fell into my lap.
Oh, that's cool. That's German too, isn't it? Or is that Russian? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This was produced in Russia. This is a Russian-made model. The packaging was made in Russia. The vehicle was made in Russia. And a guy in Florida passed away a few years ago, and they were selling his collection, and this was one of the pieces that they were selling.
Nice.
And I wasn't looking for it, but now that I found it, I love it.
No, I mean, that's really cool. I mean, you don't see things like that. I've gotten a couple of Tavias, which are Ukrainian models, that were police and fire, that my daughter got for me while she was over there visiting grandma. So yeah, that stuff is really cool. You don't see that very often. Cool. Thank you for sharing with that. Again, we are taking questions from everybody tonight. There you go. What is that?
This is a French. This is French Fire.
Oh, nice.
This is from a French company. This is a Ford Ranger. It's a European Ford Ranger with a cab on the back. It's kind of like an ambulance.
It looks kind of like a modified Ford Transit Connect van.
Yeah, that's different.
It's basically a pickup truck. It's basically a pickup truck with an extension bed on the back.
Nice. Okay, again.
It almost looks like a hearse, to be honest with you. So that kind of caught me there for a second. I was like, is that a hearse? What is that? So, but yeah,
again,
that's cool.
If you're in the crowd tonight, please ask Joseph some questions. He's got some really good stuff and really great answers so far tonight. So let's throw him some more curveballs out there. All right, who has influenced you the most in this journey of collecting so far?
So there's been two people, Ray Screws on YouTube. He's not been active the past year and a half, really. But when he was active, I really looked up to him. I bought some pieces off of him. He's a really cool guy. I've never met him in person, but he's really inspired me to collect what I like and not get what I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy is Don. He's a local collector in southern South Dakota. When I moved to South Dakota, he was there for me, helped me out with my focus and how to display my stuff. And then he showed me how to wait for stuff. For example, the 2014 Spider-Man set, all the cars, I got the whole set multiple times. And then the Evil Twin, the 8th car, was the most hard to find.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I waited 8 years to get that car.
There you
And
go.
then I found a guy on eBay who was selling 3 of them for the price of 1. And I was
There
like,
you go.
okay, this is my thing. So I got it. It took me 8 years, but I finally finished the set.
There you go. I like that. Okay, PJ has a question. What's the one car or your unicorn or grail car that is for your collection? Or is there more than one?
There's 2. One is the Japan convention car from this year, the Datsun 510. That's one of them. But I'm in no hurry to get it. And then the other one is a custom. It's a custom 118 scale Motor Max Arizona DPS police car. That's kind of that's real working lights and sirens.
That's cool.
That's kind of my piece. I'm either going to buy it from this company or I'm going to have 764 collection on Facebook make it for me. It's just one of the two. Depends on if the one online sells out, then I'll go to 764 collection and get it from them. But
Very cool.
Gotcha. Man, you find all these great little small niche groups and stuff. I'm just kind of amazed at how well you've done your research to find some of these folks. I mean,
they
how do
produce
you?
they produce a lot of custom cop cars. On Facebook, I think it's 764 collection. They produce a lot of custom cop cars for people. I think they stopped taking orders for this year because they're literally on back order. But when they do produce, they produce very good work, very
Nice.
realistic work.
Nice.
Okay, so you've talked about this a little bit with the Matchbox Gathering of Friends. Besides that show, is there another show that you want to go to besides the Matchbox Gathering of Friends?
I have 3.
Okay.
The Japan convention in southern Japan, the Brazil convention in Brazil, and the Mexico convention in Mexico.
Nice. Okay.
Those would all be amazing to go to. I would just need a translator the whole time.
The Germany one is, whether it's the Matchbox or the Hot Wheels one, would be one that I want to go to, along with, again, the Matchbox Gathering of Friends down in Albuquerque.
Yeah. If you were to go onto YouTube, and you search Mexico convention, there's a YouTuber who videoed it. It's all in Spanish, so there's subtitles, but it's kind of unique because there's just kind of like there's just kind of like a strip mall, kind of like a swap meet, rather than an indoor hotel where you go in and you look at cars. It's more of like it's outside and you go in between stalls.
Oh, nice. So it's kind of like a giant flea market
Yeah.
anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Different.
Yeah.
Okay, so PJ's got a follow-up question here. He wants to know, what do you prefer more of, customs or normal cars from the more recognized name brand companies?
I like customs. Don't get me wrong. I like normal cars. I like stock vehicles. If the custom looks cool, I mean, I have customs right now. They look cool, but I prefer stock. I prefer stock vehicles that like like this is not really stock, but it's kind of realistic. This is from Tiny
that's
HK.
cool.
That's a Hong Kong brand. This is another one. It's also stock. It's from Tiny HK as well. It's also from Hong Kong. And then like these like are work vehicles. So like the Toyota High Medic. This is kind of realistic.
That's cool.
And then like the Nissan NV350. It's realistic stock. And then this is the Mitsubishi Delica. That's also stock. So I like, these. And then some of these are not really like stock, but I like this, like something like this. The Hummer
That's
limousine.
cool.
That's cool.
This is from Tomica.
Is it red or pink?
It's pink.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
I think I have two of them now. I think. I honestly don't know what I have. Everything's in boxes, so I don't know what I have.
I know the feeling.
Man, you got some really, really nice and different things. I'm kind of blown away. I'm kind of Brent, you got any questions?
My favorite piece. This is my favorite piece.
Oh,
there you go.
Ferraris.
There you go.
I actually have 3 of these sets now. So I bought them off a guy, and he's like, I got the 2019 version, I got the 2021 version, I got the 2022 version. You want them? I was like, okay. Even though there's like little variations in the box, it's the same box, just little variations on them.
He's got Ferraris, Brent.
I know. I see that. I mean, you have Ferraris, I have Ferraris, but we don't have those Ferraris. So it's kind of neat. I mean, so obviously, we've learned tonight that you collect a lot of the overseas stuff. Do you have a decent amount of Hot Wheels or Matchbox, or do you mainly just you do collect everything?
I collect everything.
Okay.
If it has wheels, it's probably in my collection.
Any ducks?
Nick wants to know, do you collect Mini GT?
I want to. It's just I don't see castings that I like. A lot of them are JDM cars, and I'm not really into JDM cars. There's a few that I like the Mazda MX-5 Miata, and then the Kaido House's releases. I like those. Just haven't gotten any. I'm kind of waiting on those so I can buy them in all one big bulk. I get every single color that's available.
Yeah. Nick likes his Kaido House.
The problem is I have so many different brands that I collect that it's kind of I gotta basically measure out which one do I want the most. And at this point, it's Greenlight, and at some points it's Auto World. Some points it's Hot Wheels Premium. I don't really buy a lot of Hot Wheels mainlines anymore.
So that makes me. I got another question for you. Do you keep everything that you've ever collected, or have you said, you know what, I pull out a tote and I look at it and I'm like, well, why did I buy that? And you go, maybe I need to get rid of this, or should I get, do you ever think, should you ever get rid of it, or do you just say, nope, it's mine, that's staying here?
At this point, until I get done sorting, which is going to take at least 2 years, I will not sell anything. So I need to make sure I have one of them, at least 2 of them, before I sell them. So, I mean, I got 30,000 pieces in my collection. It's going to take me 2 to 3 years to go through every single piece and catalog it. So, and I'm in the process of buying another person's collection. And, that is going to my collection by 20,000 pieces possibly. So.
Wow.
So now back to like just plainer stuff. Like, have you ever seen this one?
Yeah. I have 4 of those. I bought them off PJ.
Okay, because I have 4 of them as well. I just opened this one this afternoon. But like with your love for the plain Jane castings, almost, just like,
something
I have
like
never
that
seen,
I would get.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing I like about these older Matchboxes is that it actually has the levers and stuff to open that, and then I grabbed this one too. It's just telephone. Well, this one's an energy truck, but I've always liked the industrial side of diecast, so I have a lot of industrial American
Yeah.
version stuff. So
Yeah, I have a lot of Hot Wheels and a lot of Matchbox in my early years, from probably the mid to early 2000s and then the 2010s. I have a lot of Hot Wheels and Matchbox. My three brands I probably have the most are Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and Greenlight. I have a
Gotcha.
lot of Greenlight.
yeah, I've been finding out that I have a decent amount of green light myself. I've actually been inventorying my private collection for the last 4 months. So yeah, I understand how long it takes. What you're looking at. Um, we've been at it for 4 months and we haven't gotten through the carded stuff yet. So
Yeah. Yeah, see,
So
most of my stuff is carded, so
yeah,
it's but I got probably 5 to 6 thousand loose that are just running
nice.
around.
That's still more than what I have.
I probably have more loose than that.
Now, do you collect semi trucks at all?
I'm getting into collecting semi trucks.
Ooh,
Okay.
that perks
It's
sense here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a few semis in my collection.
I just I'm very picky on which ones I buy. They have to be either double pups or triple pups, or they have to be special liveries. Otherwise, they're just gonna sit on a shelf, and I'm not gonna buy them. They have to be special. You have to be like, okay, you're gonna have a purpose in my collection without having me just let you sit on the shelf.
Gotcha. I mean, that's a great answer. What about military vehicles?
I got a lot of military vehicles. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's a double pup right there.
Yeah, and this one's made by Majorette.
Yeah,
This one was actually a France release, and that's
yeah.
where these ones were sold at. They were made in France, sold in France. They're 187th. I'm a big semi guy, so I started collecting these Majorettes, but the only ones
Mm-hmm.
that I collect have to have the red wheels on them. And in
Mm-hmm.
fact, when we were in Charlotte this
Oh.
year for the convention, I ended up finding this one, and they have it's got a tilt nose on it, and it's a highway market, which I found out from. I actually talked to the person that I bought it from after the fact that I had already purchased it. They were not in their room at the time, but it was a Canadian grocery store, and that was the only place that you could get this Canadian truck was at that grocery store, and it was in the, I would say, early 80s. So to have this in the condition that it's in, and it's from Canada, and then I bought it at a convention for Hot Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I had. Yeah, I'm a big semi guy too. That's why he said that my ears perked up. So
Yeah. Going back to the question of customs, I bought this at the convention in Sioux City.
Oh, nice.
is that a Lee Allen piece there?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
Spy
yeah, I
versus
think it is.
Spy?
I think it's the spy versus spy one.
Yeah, that looks like a Lee Allen piece. Has it got Nuclear
And
Mines hologram on the back of it?
House of Cards.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And
Lee
then
does a
this is
lot
my
of work
other.
for them.
This is currently my grail piece of my collection. This is from Riverside 2020. Gasser.
Oh, nice.
This is number 4 of 10. So there's only 10 of these in the world.
Yes, I like that.
That's cool.
I also got that at the Sioux City convention from a guy from Minnesota.
Okay, gotcha. There were a couple guys from up there from the Minnesota way.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question for you, sir, is why did you start collecting?
Just the ability to get cars that I would not be able to drive. Cars that I couldn't get in the United States. For example, I would love to own a Hi-Ace, but because the U.S. is 25-year rule, if I want a 2000 or 2005, I have to wait till 2030 to get it because of the 25-year rule of importation. So my way around that is getting these guys, and I can enjoy it and not have to worry about insurance costs, maintenance costs, or any other cost that comes with owning a vehicle.
You aren't wrong with that. That's probably why I have 130 something Ferraris. I'll never own one, but it's the only way I'm going to have one.
Well, the thing
Okay.
about Ferrari, the reason why one never owns a Ferrari is because you have to adhere to certain rules with Ferrari. When you own a Ferrari, you have to adhere to certain rules. This basically like signing a contract that you will basically follow their rules when you own a Ferrari, and you basically have to have a lawyer read it, and it's like I don't want to have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably why I won't ever own a Skyline either, because that's gonna be expensive. Man, you got some great answers tonight.
That's like me with the lowriders. I love lowriders. I have been a lowrider guy for going on 20, 30 years, but to me, I'm more of a purist when it comes to the old Chevys and stuff like that. That I wouldn't personally buy a nice Chevy and then put the suspension on there and put the hydraulics on there. So I wouldn't, and it's not cheap to do that, and let alone the amount of work that it takes to do the suspension on those, but the amount of work that it takes to do the paint jobs on those, and that's where the money is on the lowriders is the paint. So. But maybe someday I'll have something.
If I could own a real car that was probably a classic, it'd be a 1964 Ford Galaxy 500 XL.
There you go.
I love the classic American cars, the big old four-door land yachts of the 60s and 70s. I kind of miss that era. I was never alive for it, but I've watched the videos, and those cars look like majestic land yachts.
Mm-hmm. I like seeing a lot of there's a lot of videos that come out of Japan, and the Japanese people they have the Mexican dresses or the outfits and stuff, and then they actually will buy lowriders and actually import them to Japan. So you're seeing all these little tiny cars driving around Japan, and then here's this big 64 Impala just going down the street, and it's just like, that's awesome. So yeah, I can understand not being around for it but wanting it. So
yeah.
Nice. And Reagan has I got this one.
Okay.
Reagan has a question. He wants to know for your Ford Galaxy 390 or 427.
427.
There you go. Bigger's always better.
More power, baby. More power.
Exactly.
I love those big old land yachts. They just they're kind of a pain to drive, but the aesthetic of them is so cool because nowadays cars are going by the way of the dodo. In the United States, most vehicles sold in 2022 are SUVs and trucks. That's why most automobile manufacturers are discontinuing cars, such as the Toyota Avalon, the Ford Focus. They're all going by the way of the dodo because car sales are slumping while SUV and truck sales are going up. You're also seeing electrification of car sales, like the Silverado EV, Ford F-150 Lightning, Kia EV6, stuff like that. So you're seeing kind of the switch to electrification trucks and SUVs rather than cars.
Nice. Okay. Last question that I have for tonight, anyway, before we get into some cardboard carnage, which if you want to participate in, you're more than welcome to, is what is something that annoys or bothers you in the hobby? What's like a pet peeve, so to speak?
Probably the shipment delays. Some of the stuff that comes to Australia or New Zealand first, then it takes like 3 to 4 months before it gets to the States. That's the thing that kind of gets me is like, I wish sometimes I was in Australia because, you get stuff sometimes first because you're so close to Malaysia. But, I love the idea of USA exclusives. So that kind of makes, that kind of negates the bad quality there about not getting stuff first.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And that's been a hard thing to deal with, I think, the last year and a half or so. It's either a feast or famine type like situation. It's either, hey, I've still got like 15 or 20 Mercedes diorama sets sitting at my Walmart, but I can't get the latest, M or N case of mainlines to show up. But I got 27 of the Benz sitting there.
I'm 27 of the Benz as well.
Yeah, that's the case I'm looking forward to is the M case. because there's the '62 Chevy Corvette gasser in there, and then there's the Nissan Altima drift car in there. I'm really looking forward to those two pieces.
Oh, wait a minute. You mentioned something.
Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, I would like to find that one as well.
Well, here's what's going to happen. This is yours.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, right there. Next time we see each other, don't let me forget, because I know I will forget. But that one's yours.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay. Well, we've got a few minutes here. We've got about 10 minutes. We will take some more questions. Otherwise, we get into some cardboard carnage.
This is what's being opened today.
Oh man, he's going out starting.
Okay. Yeah, he all right. Well,
that's what's going to be open tonight.
I'm actually going. I've got two different ones I'm going to liberate tonight. I've got one, and it's one of 130, and I don't know what this one is, but it's upside down, and it's really starting to get on my nerves. So, but it is. I'll go ahead and rip one, and then I'll let one of you two rip one, and then I'll bring up the rear here, so to speak. So I'm going to rip the West Coast Customs Whips car. It's a Mercedes SL 55, and I have to show it to you like this because it's upside down in the package because the rubber band snapped on it, and I just want to. It's annoying me, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing out of here really quick. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't fight me like the last ones did the last couple times. So, it's in a box, so that's going to be fun.
That's a very.
You in packaging are always the worst enemy. It seems like you're always getting the it seems like it's.
I thought this one was going to be the easier of the two. That's why I went with this first. There we go. All right.
I'll tell you what.
It was taped shut. So
those Whips cars are just amazing. Yep, and Nick's making fun of you.
Nick's always making fun of me. He hung up on me earlier, and he never called me back. So.
Well, yeah, but did he really hang up over you, or you just said goodbye? Because either way, it's so super fast.
I know. I'm honestly not sure. I think he said something, and then the line just died. Right. So I was like, I don't know exactly, but so there's that.
Rich, to answer your question, it was amazing. We covered it a little bit earlier tonight, but to answer your question, yes, it was amazing. Glad to be there. Glad to go back. All right, Joseph, it's over to you if you want to go. Uh-oh. Bring in the heat.
Afraid to open this one.
Yeah, start working on that.
I already am.
Nice. Is that a light blue color on that?
This is Azure Aqua Poly.
Ooh.
Nice.
I mean, Chevy had a lot of cool colors back in the day. Okay,
yes, we did.
While Brent is pre-gaming there, this is
check out the new Mercedes.
My Carnage for the night.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Dang.
Well, it's either that or the gasser, but they're not here yet, so that'll be next week.
Yeah, see, I have my gassers, but don't have the trucks yet.
Now,
what do you guys think about the DeLorean AMC? The DeLorean.
That 2-pack?
Yeah.
I'm excited, and I'm really excited for the San Diego Comic-Con stuff to ship because I actually was able to score a DeLorean or the Knight Rider version. So.
Oh, the kit, the kit with the working light.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Comic-Con just to see the cars, but then Comic-Con's always crazy, so I just don't want to deal with it.
You can actually become a member on. You can go to the Mattel Creations page. That's where I was actually able to buy. I was able to get the Knight Rider, the Ghost Rider motorcycle, and the Mario Kart Peach. So,
okay.
But
yeah,
so the last one.
I think a part of it, but I haven't gone on in a while.
I hear you. So my last one, I'm going to go with the one of 30,000 Team Burtwell Mercedes CL55. And I've already kind of. Well, that's the thing, though. This one's like a big blister, so it just kind of opens up from the back. and then it just falls out. Look at that. Look at the speed of that one. Ha! There we go. And it's this. And the cool thing is, it's the exact same blue as this. So, but yeah, that one's really super cool. I like that one. And you know what? How much time?
I
we
don't know.
Got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's do it all over again.
Oh,
There's the red one.
I don't have the red one. No, I do have the red one.
And I already.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
have that
already-
blue
you know
one.
what? Then I'll open this guy.
I already kind of cheated though, so I already had this one ready to roll too. So
I think this should be our new door
hanger?
marker.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think the blue.
We still want to
Okay.
do 55?
I think the
Here you go.
blue 55 is best.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
You,
That is cool.
You never. Wow.
I read
that was
3 for some reason.
Brutal.
You see the
That's
124th. Yes, Richard, we did. I did see it, and it was.
And
It was
it's going right
cool.
back in the packaging.
Oh.
Well, I can
Gotcha.
actually reinstall 2 of these. I can put 2 of them back, but the one is not going back in because it got a little destroyed. But that's okay because these to me, I mean, I just want them because they're cool. So now I
That
have
whole
the
series
both.
is cool.
I have the red and the blue Mercedes, so I'm a happy camper now.
All right, folks. Well, that's all I've got for tonight. Brent, is that all you got?
Yeah, I think that's all I got for
I
right
think that's all we've got out there in the interwebs. So we'd like to thank our guest tonight, Mr. Joseph, for coming on and being an awesome guest and really showing us some really cool cars that I never knew existed.
Yeah, it taught me some
And-
things tonight, so I appreciate it.
Yep. And
Thank you
don't
all.
forget, yeah, you're welcome. Don't forget October 2nd in Lincoln, October 23rd in Norfolk, and September 17th in Des Moines is the next All Iowa show. Thank you all for coming on tonight. If you would like to be a guest on our show, please reach out to either Brent or myself and we will get you on. Or if there's a topic you want to talk about, please let us know. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button over on the YouTube, because
Yes,
we
please
just
do.
might go live from there sometime. But that's all we've got for tonight. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the near future. Good night, everybody.
Night. Have a good night.
Bye.